Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Good morning, Joel Krausar here. Day number 2 of filling in for Tony Tone and Hy-Vee Today. Here live on Facebook Live, YouTube live stream, as well as just on Muscatine Power and Water. Channels 5 and Channel 7 coming at you here in the replays at 8:30 and 10:30. We survived day 1. Everything is good. I can tell you that Tony will be back next week, but you will get me for the rest of the week, and I'm still very excited about that. Another big thank you to Affordable Metal Manufacturing, my employer, who is letting me do this today. And Brooke, my general manager, will be our guest tomorrow. Some exciting guests today, though. Jessica Meyer from Good Makers Market is with us here as our first guest, and Alicia Bull from the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry will be here a little bit later. And then we get to talk about one of my favorite things in the world, and that is meat. With meat manager Mike Church, we're going to talk about grilling and some of the things coming up with this Memorial Day holiday, which is just right around the corner. But getting right into it here with Jessica Meyer with Good Makers Market, who's our first guest and here with us today. Jessica, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Now, you have your hand in a lot of different projects and a lot of different businesses here in Muscatine. You know, and Good Makers Market is kind of one of those things that you're doing. But let's talk to the audience about some of the other things that you're doing before we dive into really what the market's all about. So you have your other business downtown, I know, and
yes. Well, I work at Slotting Hy-Vee downtown.
Okay.
Yes.
And you have the opportunity to do this Good Makers Market. And for the listeners who may not know what that is, or the viewers who may not know what that is, what does that market do?
So Good Makers Market is a vintage and handmade market that's happening in Tipton, Iowa at the Cedar County Fairgrounds. And so it's vendors from all over the Midwest. We have some from Chicago, some from Kansas City, Des Moines, local, that's happening this weekend.
And but it's kind of a cool thing. You think about the apps like Pinterest and Etsy and things which is a kind of an e-commerce way that these craftsmen and these craftspeople have brought their wares to market. But they used to have to go and actually physically sell them, and this is kind of a throwback to that, where those kind of people who do these one-of-a-kind items, these unique artisan type crafts and other items, they can display it all there, and you can get to actually go get your hands on it, touch it, and see it. Right,
you can touch it and see it. You can meet the person behind the product, like who's making it. And we think that's awesome. Like you can meet your makers.
Well, because you think about it, you have opportunities where I know my wife and myself, we've bought these custom things off some of those electronic websites, like Etsy, and it's not perfect. It's not what we thought it was.
Right.
And there's opportunities to return it and things like that, but it's still frustrating sometimes. And this is a way that you can maybe find that one-of-a-kind item and actually, understand what it is before you buy it.
Yes, for sure.
It's almost like a farmer's market for...
It is, and that's something we're kind of trying to expand on a little bit, because I would like to add a little bit more farmer's market side to it. So we'll have our crafters, we have like our collectors who bring vintage and salvage goods, and the pickers. But then we're kind of branching into getting a little bit more people who are bringing like veggies and stuff like that. So just kind of everyone who makes stuff, not only crafts but farmers as well.
And how did you get involved? Like, what has lured you to this type of event?
Well,
organizing this event.
I used to be, still am, a vendor at craft shows as my side company called Good Folk Trading Company. So I would go to shows all over the Midwest and sell my stuff, and I just got to know people. And then my husband's family, they started the Barn at Bunker Hill in Durant, and it's a wedding venue, but they wanted to get people in there to see it. And they asked me, they're like, hey, will you put on a market? And I'm like, okay. I've been to them, I've never put one on. And so a friend and I did it together, and it went really well. And so now it's just kind of grown, and I've taken it on by myself, and now it's our 4th year.
And
awesome.
And have a great venue like the Cedar County Fairgrounds in Tipton, which is where this is going to take place. That it gives you the right kind of space to have multiple venues for people to vend, but also it gives you the opportunity to make it an experiential event.
Yes.
There's going to be bands and other things for people to do while they're there.
Yep. There's live music all day, both days. So I guess I should mention the dates. So it's this Friday, the 25th, from 3 to 8, and then Saturday from 9 to 4. And so, yeah, there's live music all days, both days. There's food trucks. There's a cute little vintage camper called Bev the Barbarian, and they sell drinks. So that's always a hit. Yeah, there's about 90 vendors.
And it's a great way to kick off that Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
You've got some extra time. You've got opportunities to get out with your family. And I think one of the things that's happening is people are getting more that they don't want to have that same piece of decor or that same item that their neighbor might have.
Right.
So this is kind of that opportunity for people to really tailor to their style, and maybe, and like you said, maybe even build a relationship with a person who can help do multiple things for what they're trying to accomplish.
Oh yeah, a lot of our makers can.
So what are some things that who are some of the people who are coming back maybe this year as a vendor that kind of you got excited when they signed up and said, yeah, we're coming back this year?
So one of our big ones is the shop Kelowna. They're these girls that have this cute little shop in Kelowna, and they're in the middle of our barn. They do this awesome display, and we love having them. R7, she's from here in Grandview. She does some pretty cool stuff. Let's see, Whoa Nelly she's in Iowa City now. She's been there every year. She makes a few bath products and then natural cleaning products, and she's just awesome. Gosh, there's so many.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, we have everything from bath products to hand-painted signs to rusty junk, and just there's a little bit of everything.
Would you say rusty junk? But that is
well,
definitely
it's not junk, and I know.
But I work in the metal business, and one of the most popular things that we're asked about is, can you find us a new coil of steel that looks rusted? And that is very much the style that's coming back. This worn barn kind of look, and that's something that I get asked about it every single day.
Yeah. And
so we kind of chuckled when you said that, but that is very much what people are looking for.
People are after it, yeah.
And maybe you're sitting at home and you're thinking, oh man, we've got a state, a barn that we need to clean out. Maybe go do that this summer, and then next year you can come and be a vendor at this thing. Right. You may have exactly the piece that somebody is looking for.
Yes.
As like you said, you've been involved with these vendor fairs, and you've been on the commerce side of this for a while. What are some of the things that when you meet a person who's looking for it, or what are some things that has kept you kind of coming back to this? Because it's a lot of work, but but what have you seen that makes it all worth it?
It's such a cool community, like all the creative people, and they are all like cheering each other on. There's not really any competition. It's just everybody's friends, and it's so much fun. It is a ton of work, and there are days where I'm like, what the heck am I doing? But it's totally worth it, and just to see the smile on everybody's face and the compliments I get, and it's such a cool event.
Well, and you mentioned too, it kind of all started from an idea within your family, and to know that was kind of the genesis of it. And you mean your family and your husband's family are known for kind of taking a creative approach and maybe not going down the beaten path, so to speak. And to see this grow like that has to be pretty fulfilling.
It is. It's definitely gotten bigger every year, which is why we had to move locations, and I'm really excited. This will be our 4th year.
And so it's at the Cedar County Fairgrounds. Again, it's this Friday, May 25th, and then Saturday, May 26th. And this is a fun for all ages day.
Yes,
I mean, you can bring it. This is something that's very kid friendly.
Very kid friendly.
And the weather, we'll see what it's going to be like. It's going to be fine, right?
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
We don't mention the R word. It's going to be great.
I wasn't even going that. I was thinking just more about sunscreen.
Yes, sunscreen for sure. Yes,
Absolutely.
It's going to be hot, but it's going to do great.
And the Cedar County Fairgrounds will be the location of the Good Makers Market. Now, you mentioned that you have sold things. Do you have a specialty? Do you personally have something that you kind of hang your hat on when it comes to these?
I kind of switch it up a lot, but right now my thing is I find old barn boards and repurpose them into like artwork and furniture. So that's kind of my thing right now.
So I mean, are you talking about like doing like beds and like headboards?
No. More like side tables, benches, and then like artwork for the walls.
That's really cool, and I know that's very much the style that's kind of going right now. I know we can thank a very popular show on HGTV for the shiplap craze.
Yes, I know.
And all of the and all of the things that have gone on
Yeah.
with that. I'm not ashamed. I watch that stuff all the time.
Me too.
I sit there and I watch it with my wife, and I'm so happy that Trading Spaces is back. That's our big thing.
I love that show.
And what it is you watch these HGTV type shows and these other programs about things. You have these ideas. Coming to a place like the Good Makers Market is maybe a way you can actually find the material to execute those ideas. that you have.
Yeah, you can.
So, again, go to the Good Makers Market. Jessica Meyer here with us. It's year 4. It is May 25th and 26th, and you can see them at the Cedar County Fairgrounds. And what time does it start again?
It starts at 3 o'clock on Friday, so it's 3 to 8, and it's 9 to 4 on Saturday. And I should also mention the first 100 shoppers on both Friday and Saturday, they get a free swag bag.
Nice.
So it's stuff full with all sorts of goodies from some of our vendors. So coupons to shop your favorite vendors.
So whether,
definitely want one of
whether
those.
it's whether it's your kind of thing and you go to these all over the place, or this is the first time, it sounds like it's a great event
It is.
for you to go check out. And I know some of the bands. Who are some of the bands that are playing?
So Joey Pete from here in town.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Adam Griffin, he's from here in town.
Gosh,
Yeah,
went to school with Joey's wife
Yeah.
and Adam.
So Brian Wilson from here in town, he's with a band called Pollyanna, which Joey Pete's a part of, and Nate Davis. Who else? There's a few from the Quad Cities. Brian's kind of my main go-to guy.
Sure.
He handles all my music and has
He
booked
Will's
it
the
all.
guy for that. So.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. So Jessica Meyer, thanks so much for coming
Thank
out.
you.
And go check out the Good Makers Market. Again, it is Friday, 3 to 8 p.m. and Saturday, 9 to 4 a.m. at the Cedar County Fairgrounds in Tipton. Jessica, thanks so much for coming out.
Thank
We're going to throw it over to the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam. Let's check out where it is today. Jessica, let's see what we've
Let's
got.
see.
CBI Bank and Trust, proud sponsors of the aisle cam, right there in the meat bunker for your pre-made hamburgers, which those are really handy on a weekend like this weekend when you want to be entertaining and not slaving in the kitchen. I know, so your family, you and your husband are involved with a couple other businesses in town, T's Ice Cream, The
T's
Junction,
Ice Cream.
and Wilton. You guys do
Yeah.
great burgers at both of those places. What's your go-to burger?
Oh, my go-to burger.
Like if you're making a burger or craving a burger, Jessica, what do you get?
Well, if I was going to get one at the Junction, they have this wonton burger. So they have these jalapeno popper wontons that they make, but they put them on a burger with like all this ooey gooey deliciousness.
That's awesome.
Yeah, our
That's
chef in
something,
Wilton is
and that's
awesome.
something you could probably recreate here for some stuff from Hy-Vee.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Try that at home.
Yep.
So, Jessica Meyer, again, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And then our next guest is going to be coming in here shortly. It's Alicia Bull with the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. You'd think that somebody who has said that sentence as much as I have wouldn't fumble over it, but we're looking forward to having them. We're going to talk about some of the summer projects that are coming up. Toyota Muscatine aisle cam we're going to switch to that here cart cam. We're going to switch to that real quick too to get going as we switch out guests here this morning. So we've got our Toyota Muscatine aisle cam where we're going to go down here in the soup aisle. I know it's hot this time of year, and maybe you're not thinking about soup, but we've got the Toyota Muscatine aisle cam getting ready to go here, and she's making her way. So you got all your canned vegetables, which are really quick time savers this time of year, and we're going to go ahead and get Alicia on here. She can come on over and we'll get her all set up. Again, big thank you to Jessica Meyer for the Good Makers Market this morning. There's one of our end caps with some wine specials as we're over there in the produce aisle with the Toyota Muscatine cart cam. We're getting the store all set up here this morning. There's your Hy-Vee Chinese. Our big thanks to TJ Deere and the folks over at Muscatine, Toyota Muscatine. I know they have a lot of things going on. Maybe you're looking for that big summer road trip and you're thinking about a new vehicle, head on over. The new Toyota Sienna, I know, is a very appealing family vehicle. And so maybe you got that big 4th of July plans or Memorial Day plans. It's not too late to get out to Toyota Muscatine to get set up for that summer road trip. Speaking of the summer and 4th of July and the things that are going on, it's hard to think about the 4th of July because school isn't even out yet. But that's one of the things Alicia is here to kind of talk about today with the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and that is the fireworks.
Yeah.
We think about 4th of July, and I think sometimes we take for granted the fireworks display that goes on every year. And that's a chamber thing. That's something that you guys put on. And it's not an inexpensive thing.
No,
to say the least. And it's something that you guys are in the process of fundraising for as well right now. So,
yep.
I mean, what can people do if they want to get involved with the chamber and the fireworks project?
Okay, so we've done the fireworks and the parade for, I would say, decades. So we do all the fundraising. We usually start permit process in January, like for the Marine and all the different permits that are necessary to have the fireworks. And if people want to donate, it's all funded by local companies and individuals, and they can just go to our website, muscatine.com, and there's a link there where the sponsorship form is, or they can mail checks to our office. So it all goes into the foundation where we completely put it towards the fireworks. So it's about $20,000 to cover the whole event with porta potties, insurance, all that.
You don't think about all that. Those ancillaries, probably not the right word, but the infrastructure.
Right. Yeah.
Like, the barge to be out there with the actual fireworks on it.
We actually shoot from the Illinois side, the land. We haven't done the barge for several years, but yeah, there's still a lot of expenses just going into all the logistics of it, I guess.
Sure.
So.
It's again, I think it's one of those things that growing up in Muscatine, every year it was just there. And you don't always think about the process that goes in to doing it. I know we'll have Kelsey Brackett on tomorrow to talk about, or Thursday to talk about the Soapbox Derby and some of those things. Those are all things that the community gets together, and the chamber kind of helps be at the forefront of the fireworks and the parade that you mentioned. But those are just family traditions that people do every year. I know you grew up on the Illinois side of the river. I'm sure you were able to see the fireworks displays from. And I've had friends who grew up in Illinois City and those areas, and they would go to a place where they could watch the Muscatine fireworks as well. It's a unique thing. It's kind of an old school tradition to do the parade. Yeah. And I think it's important that people get involved with it.
Very cool.
Now, with some of the other things with the chamber that you guys are doing, I know that you're in charge of a lot of things with the events coordinator. There's ribbon cuttings and chamber after hours, things that I think. What is your role in the chamber, and how do you see things moving forward as 2018 has started to unfold, and what you have coming down the pike?
So we've already done several things this year. We started off with our annual meeting, which is an event for all of our members to attend, and we had the first event at the Merrill Hotel, so that was really cool. About 400 people came out to that. And then we ended our 30th year of Leadership Muscatine, which is a leadership program that's been in place for area employers and residents to participate in. So we had that graduation in April, so that's something that I help facilitate. It starts in September and runs through April every year, so that's pretty cool. Keeps me busy. We also have ribbon cuttings, like you mentioned, that just kind of pop up as needed when people expand or relocate or new businesses open. That's always an exciting time. People like to celebrate, so that's fun. And then really the 4th of July keeps me busy. And then there's all different things that come up. We did a LeaderCast live event, which was really cool. It was broadcast live from Atlanta, Georgia, and we went to the Palms Theater and watched it live all day long. So we had about 100 people in attendance for that, so that was cool. So there's always interesting things that pop up that really aren't annual events, but they come and make us busy for a little while.
And things like that LeaderCast are a really unique opportunity for people in our community to expand their knowledge base and get access to some national level speakers that they may have to pay significant dollars or travel to go see. And that's a very unique thing. I know some folks who went to that, and they said that it was a really informative day, and it was just and to have it at a facility like the Palms Theater,
it was
just
fun.
Makes it a lot cooler too. And it's just an example of how you can use multiple resources in our community to complete that kind of vision.
So we try to have events that benefit not only our members but also the community. So some are more member-based and some are more community-minded, like 4th of July. So it just varies.
When you think about the 4th of July, with fireworks, what's your favorite kind of fireworks?
I like the big ones that look like kind of palm trees coming down, or weeping willows.
I think I've transitioned. I used to be the guy who liked the big loud ones, and now that I have kids, I'm like, let's just have the cool ones that shimmer and sparkle as they go down, and you don't have to put earmuffs on.
You see them before you hear them.
Right. Cool. You learn a lot about the physics of the speed of sound with that sort of thing, but It's enjoyable to get your family together, sit in the back of a pickup truck or in the trunk of your car and just look up at the sky and wait for that sort of thing. And that's why people need to get involved and donate. Again, you can go to the Chamber of Commerce website, which is muscatine.com. Doesn't get any simpler than that. And you can click on the link to donate, and we can support our community in a very unique way in that regard. Now, the parade. Let's talk about the parade, because people can get involved in the parade. There's lots of opportunities for people to sign up, whether it's have a float in the parade or have a presence in the parade. But then you also have the ability to actually volunteer and help with the parade as well. If someone was wanting to do that, how would they get involved as a volunteer? As a volunteer,
so we often use our Rotary Club as block captains. They volunteer their time and they help stage the parade. We start on, I would say, Iowa, around 4th or 5th Street. So we have one each block going all the way back Iowa. So that's a couple hours of their day. And usually we have the same people help us each year, so that's fun. But you can certainly participate in the parade. Entry forms are available also on muscatine.com. And it's $100 for a business or an advertiser. But if you do donate to the fireworks, $100 or more, you get free parade entry. So you kind of get double for your money. You get recognized as an event sponsor, and then you also have that recognition at the parade. So that's kind of a cool win-win. But individuals like church groups or kids or anyone just wanting to have a float that's nonprofit would be free.
Okay, so if you are, maybe it's a small church group or maybe you do, I know there's some organizations, there's quilting groups that do things for veterans. I mean, it could be an opportunity for them to get involved. And that was a very specific example. I don't know why that was the first one that popped into my brain, but it's a way for our community to show what is going on. It's kind of a nice little cross section to show what all happens in our community, and it gives people that chance to show off a little bit in a fun way.
Right. So this year our theme is red, white, and blue on the Mississippi, and we'd love to see more people build floats and kind of use our Mississippi River as their piece to decorate. So it seems like each year there's fewer and fewer floats, but the ones that really do the work, it's really cool and people really enjoy that.
And I think about, I remember building floats for Little League baseball teams and church organizations, and those are good memories that you can have as a kid.
Yeah, it's fun.
To get part of your organizations. I remember we built one for Cub Scouts, just things like that are it's not just about that one day. You are actually making memories for all those involved.
Right.
I know Hy-Vee gets very involved in the parade, and I've followed them a couple of times, which isn't a bad seat to be in, because if you get really thirsty, they always have water and things like that they're handing out on the ride, because it's always super hot. I think last year was the first year it wasn't painstakingly hot. I think it was a beautiful 80-degree day last year on the 4th of July. But what else can you expect in the middle of summer in Iowa? Now, I know too that with the fireworks, it's always the riverfront is in a little bit better position now, as far as some of the construction is done, so it might be a little bit easier to access. So I know that was something people were nervous about last year,
right?
And everything went great. They let people sit on the road, part of the street that was closed, and it seems like the city really is getting behind this tradition.
They're very supportive. Too. We have meetings leading up to the event, and they're great. They're wonderful to work with. And we're also going to have the Pearl City Station, where the Muscatine Symphony Orchestra will be performing live about 8:30 before the fireworks. So that's cool. And we always have the reading of the Declaration of Independence and the honor guard down there. So that's fun. And they're always helpful in the safety of people getting in and out of the riverfront. So you can actually park on the riverfront if you want to get held up there for a couple hours afterwards, getting off, or you can just walk down. So, but they're super great to work with. So
yeah, it's a big, exciting day, and I know we were kind of counting down our summer plans, and we realized we're not that far out from the 4th of July. I mean, here we are the last week of May, or last week and a half of May, and I know summer seems to go faster and faster and faster the older I get. And so it'll be here before we know it, and that's why we're talking about it now. Again, you can donate for the fireworks by going to muscatine.com and clicking on the Donate to Muscatine Fireworks link. Great opportunity. You guys are a nonprofit, so is this a tax-deductible donation that people can make for their...
We encourage people to contact their tax advisor to see if they can write it off. But
Sure.
yeah,
There
it
may
should
be
be.
some opportunities for that. Again, neither one of us are accountants or tax professionals, so we could neither one of us want to be on the hook for telling you can write it off, but it might be. We'll just have to wait and see with that. So it's an enjoyable time in Muscatine, the 4th of July. Looking forward to the parade. And Alicia, the other thing is too, and maybe you talked about it on the show, I don't know. The chamber has moved. You guys have a new location.
Yeah, we have a new location.
I was in the office a couple weeks ago, and it's awesome. I mean, you're now down in the, well, for those of us who grew up here, it's where Miller Harrison Insurance
Right.
was. It's right there on the corner of 2nd Street and Iowa Avenue, and it's a great new spot for the Chamber of Commerce. How's the settling in?
It's
the new
cool.
dig?
So we moved there right before Thanksgiving. But I feel like we're in the heart of downtown now. Like we see so many more people and more visitors and walk-in traffic. That's great with the Convention and Visitors Bureau being in there. And I just feel like we're easily accessible and people can see us. So,
Which you mentioned the Convention and Visitors Bureau, which is one of those entities that works with multiple sides of the city of Muscatine, and it is something that the chamber talks to a lot, and you guys have an influence with, and have a member from the chamber is on the board, I believe, for that. And the reason I bring that up is because I did just see this last night. There is a posting for a new board member position on the City of Muscatine website. So while I know the City of Muscatine and the Chamber are separate entities, this is one of those bodies that kind of dovetails together. So if you're interested in the City of Muscatine and the Chamber, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, you can apply to be on that board right now. And if you do so, you can maybe work with people like Alicia who are coordinating events here for the city, which ultimately you coordinate events that are for the city, but they can ultimately attract people to the city as well.
sure, yeah. Jody Hansen is the director of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and she's in our office. So she's really the lead person that works out of our office closely with the city on the Convention and Visitors Bureau. But you're right.
So with the 4th of July moving forward, what are some other events on the horizon, or is that pretty much your singular focus right now?
Until July 5th, that's my focus. So we kind of move forward 100 miles an hour till July 4th. Then summer actually begins.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about the dinner, the first event at the Merrill Hotel, because that's something that the chamber, I think what a lot of folks don't realize about the chamber, and I know that usually Greg is here to answer a question like this, so you can totally deflect if need be. But one of the goals is to facilitate the economy of the community. And I think you had your event there to kind of show what this hotel can do for the community. What is your take as a person who lives and works in the Muscatine area, and having coordinated an event with the hotel? What was your initial experience with that, and how you see things maybe moving forward with that facility?
It was really exciting. The staff there is phenomenal. They're great to work with. So we were kind of, it was the first time for us to host an event there. We were their first event, so there was a lot of unknowns, but it all went together. They were great. It was fun. I think it's a great addition to the community. It's awesome when you go up there and you're in that room and you just are like, wow, we're in Muscatine still. That's our beautiful riverfront and stuff. So it's a great addition. And we were happy to be the ones that kind of went through the growing pains with them to kind of figure out all the logistics. But it was a very nice evening. We enjoyed it a lot. So,
I'm going to ask you to take the chamber hat off for a second. Memorial Day weekend right around the corner. I know summer doesn't start for you until July 5th, but the rest of us, it begins this weekend.
Yeah.
What is Alicia Bull's go-to Memorial Day? Like if you're got a barbecue going or you got a get-together going, what's your go-to food for something like Memorial Day?
Grill out, burgers. My husband smokes a bunch of ribs.
Yeah, and I think the thing is with kids. I know you have kids.
Yeah.
And my kids are younger too. I think we're surprised at what they'll eat. If you just put it in front of them, if it's cooked right, they'll eat it. I mean, are your kids all in on the ribs and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, if Dad makes it, they'll eat it. Yeah, they like that. So
that's the key. So we'll get out, and that's kind of segues into our next guest here shortly. Mike Church is going to be up with here in just a few minutes to talk about the meat department here at Hy-Vee. And again, a big thank you to Alicia Bull here with the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I'm going to say it right this time.
Yeah.
GMCCI
There
is
you
what
go,
I
that's
usually
easier.
call it. Why don't I just stick with abbreviations? It's so much easier. But talking about 4th of July, go ahead to muscatine.com and we'll get you set up. You can make your donations there for the fireworks. And again, if you make a donation of $100 or more, Is it $100 or more? You get that free entry into the
free
parade?
parade entry, and any monetary donation is acceptable. It doesn't have to be $100. It can be less, but if you're $100 or more, that does help out a lot more and gets you the double bang for your buck. But we do recognize all of our sponsors, however we can. So that's always a win-win.
That's great.
Awesome.
Again, thank you so much for coming
Thanks
in.
for having me.
And if you're looking for something to do, go say hi to the people at the Chamber of Commerce at the new office there at the corner of 2nd Street and Iowa Avenue. It's a wonderful facility. And then make your way across the street to the History and Industry Center, one of the hidden gems of Muscatine, which I know the Chamber, it's a showcase facility for us here in the community, and just lots of great things to go on here in the town, and you guys do so much to bring that to us. So big thank you to Alicia for coming in. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Joel.
We've got the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam. Again, we had the meat bunker. Looks like we got some chicken breasts over there too. CBI Bank and Trust, if you bank with them, you can come to Hy-Vee. They've got a branch right here in the store as we get ready for Mike to come over. So I'm gonna crowdsource a little bit here. If you go on the Facebook page and you're following us on Facebook and watching us live, go ahead and start putting some comments down, some things that you want to see this Memorial Day, something you're looking forward to maybe cooking out or grilling out. It gives us an opportunity to maybe answer some questions a little bit later on in the day, or maybe if we can get them up, we can maybe ask Mike directly when he comes over here in just a couple of minutes. Again, Joel Krausar sitting in this morning for Tony Tone. I'm here all week. I'm the sales and marketing manager for Affordable Metal Manufacturing here in Muscatine. Brooke Wagler, my general manager, will be in the store tomorrow. She'll be our guest, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what we do. But just a quick plug for myself is we do more than just metal roofing. We sell buildings, whether it's a small lawnmower shed all the way to a 17,000 square foot commercial facility or bigger. We can take care of any size building, anything that you might need. And we've got our website that's popped up there. If anything's piqued your interest, actually just looking at that last horse barn building that just popped up, that's something that's called a hybrid steel building, which it's steel main frames with wood purlins and girts. And you would be surprised at how affordable a building like that can be. It's a beautiful facility, and we can set you up with that at Affordable Metal Manufacturing. If you've got some questions, you see a request for quote link up there at the top and our contact information, you can get a hold of me. And we're going to talk more about affordable metal tomorrow. Today, we're going to talk about meat, which I can't think of a better topic to discuss. I am an avid consumer, both in taste and in just monetarily here at the Hy-Vee meat department. We've got the meat bundles are always a great way to go. And I know, Mike, you've got a lot of things going on, getting ready to kick off this holiday, Memorial Day holiday, as we get you all set up there with the microphone. This is the unofficial, or maybe it's the official kickoff to grilling season.
Yeah,
this weekend.
It is kind of. I mean, we've had some really nice weather the month of May, so it's actually been really, really nice. But this is kind of the big first kind of a 3-day weekend of the summer, kind of maybe kicking the summer off. So yeah, this is a big weekend. A lot of people, with graduation.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't affiliate. Meat department's not so much graduation, but like Delmer and his crew, they do. But, we got a lot of people having cookouts and camping, and unfortunately nobody's doing any boating. But, yes, it is a big kind of a kickoff for the summer, you bet.
And, I kind of walked by the meat counter earlier, and one of the things that I always check out is, some of the cuts of meat that maybe take a little bit longer to cook, but the value of them is outstanding. I think a skirt steak, I think that's an undervalued cut of meat.
Yeah.
You prepare it properly, it's a really inexpensive
that's it's kind of a lot of people who watch a lot of the food shows, that's kind of, the skirt steak is kind of a hot item right now. In your Hispanic restaurants and stuff like that, we do sell quite a bit of skirt steak. So, but yeah, skirt steak and flank steak, we do sell quite a bit of. I've had skirt steak at a restaurant, but I've never prepared it myself.
It's you have to marinate it a little bit, maybe get it some time. And you either cook it really hot, short period of time, or you cook it low and slow.
Okay.
I'm a big chimichurri sauce fan.
Yeah.
Because you can do that whole meal for under $15.
Yep.
And you can feed 8 to 10 people with that kind of meat. So
Yep.
it's a really good way to do it.
Awesome.
What are some things that we could
Well,
want to check out?
I'll tell you what, Joel, this is what we got going on. Like I said, this is a really, really big week for us. We've got some really good, exciting things going on this week. Starting tomorrow, we have you buy 8 burgers, you buy 8 85% lean ground chuck burgers, 5 ounces each, for $12. We're going to give you a pack of brats free. You get 8 brats free. We've got our popular brats packaged up already, ready to roll. But if you're not wanting just one pack of 8, you want to mix and match some, you can stop over at the case and we'll get you set up that way. We have that going on. We've got a great deal on Oscar Mayer hot dogs, 99 cents. Limit 2 with your Fuel Saver Perks card. What else we got going on? We've got 80% lean ground beef in a 1 pound roll, $188. We've got Johnsonville brats, $2.99 all week. And then starting Thursday, we have our Mega Meat Thursdays for the whole month of May. We got 2 more Thursdays left. It's where you spend $25, Joel, and you get 15 cents on your Fuel Saver. And it is stackable, so you do 50, get the calculator out, you get 30. And unfortunately, guys, we all know gas is going up. So right now, Fuel Saver items are really, really hot. So we've got that going on Thursday. Friday, we start off with a 3-day sale. We've got, you're talking about a connoisseur, if you like to smoke, we've got whole pork butts in the ad this week. We've got Johnsonville Value Pack smoked links in there. And I want to say the Cheese Island's got some ham in there. Yeah, so we've got we've got a lot of stuff going on. So
yeah, this is the time of year to start stocking up. I know we bought a couple of years ago. Hy-Vee had a deal where you bought the freezer. You got $200.
Yeah.
It was $200 for the freezer.
Yeah,
and then you got
$200
with the coupons.
Yeah, I would imagine that should be coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, what I'm saying though is, whenever there's something like these Mega Meat Thursdays, I go and I buy things like the pork chops, the little butterfly pork chops that are quick weeknight meal type things. You buy a bunch of them, put them in the freezer, and like you said, with the gas prices, they're not going down anytime soon.
Yeah, I know.
And so with that Fuel Saver, you can end up, maybe paying, a dime a gallon, pretty quickly.
We might be paying you to fill up.
Well, right, absolutely. I did. I'll be honest. We are big online shoppers. We use Hy-Vee aisles online. And when I looked at our Fuel Saver balance the other day, I'm going to fill up for 14 cents.
Nice.
Basically,
awesome.
is what it's all.
That's great.
All said and done. So you can use the meat department, to help kind of use that perks program and fill up that freezer for the summer as well.
Yeah, and you know what? I tell you what, folks, I've got some. If for somebody that likes to smoke, it's a big kind of weekend. That's kind of a hot thing right now. People like to smoke at home. Meats. We're talking meats.
Right, absolutely.
We're not in Colorado, guys. Sorry. Is this PG-13? All right, here we go. So anyway, I've got some brisket in this week. I got some whole brisket, $3.99 a pound for a whole brisket for you guys that like to cook brisket.
I'm writing that down.
I've got some flats back there. We've got brats, burgers, steaks. You name it. If you're looking for it, we've got it, or I can get it for you. Like I said, this is a big weekend for us, big weekend for people. For grilling and camping, and so it's hard work, but it'll be good. It's fun.
And maybe you're thinking, well, I've always wanted to get into smoking, but I just haven't taken the leap yet. Not only can you get the meat here to do it, you can get they've got a couple pellet grills out front.
They've got some grills out front. We've got, my crew and I we're pretty knowledgeable on helping some people, and everybody, like I said, obviously with the internet, you can Google anything anymore and figure it out. It's not. It's pretty simple. So the biggest thing is just not overcooking something or cooking it too long. That's the biggest thing.
Well, and that's the thing too. And I know we've actually got a couple of the manual meat thermometers right here, right by our set. But that's one of the most valuable things you can get.
You know what? That's
get a meat thermometer.
That is a great point. One time or a few years ago, I always thought I was a pretty good cook, and I never used a meat thermometer, and I just cook it by time, 5 minutes on my burger one side, 5 minutes on the other. Well, we went to Hy-Vee was putting on we had a meat meeting in Des Moines, and they brought this guy out. He was like a chef, and he was saying, if you're going to cook meat, you really need to get a meat thermometer. And you know what? I did buy a meat thermometer, and I'll tell you what, it does really, really make a difference. That 5 degrees or 10 degrees difference, you get a chicken breast, it's 165, and you get it to 190 where it shouldn't be, it makes a difference. It's a heck of a lot better once you know where it's supposed to be than if you do overcook it. Same way with burgers and beef. Same way with pork. I mean, pork, you know, anymore, 145 is the max you need to go on pork.
I think there's that misconception. You know, when I was growing up, it was pork. Trichinosis, yeah. Trichinosis was the evil villain of pork. And then they realized that, and you know this in your industry, the food safety issue is with the ground meats,
yes,
the ones that have been somehow
yes.
Cut up and processed in some way. If you're cooking a whole cut of meat like a pork chop
yes.
or a steak,
yes.
the only opportunity for the bacteria to be in that meat is on the surface.
Top, yes.
And if you cook it on a grill or at a direct heat,
yes.
it's going to kill any bacteria.
And you know, back to your meat thermometer, that's a great point, Joel, because, you know, I have kids, and, you know, kids are more susceptible to E. coli or things like that, where, you know, the meat thermometer does come into play. If you're cooking a burger this weekend and you do have kids, they are more susceptible to those types of sicknesses or illnesses, where a meat thermometer will get you past that.
Right.
So, which is great. So, I mean, it does help. Not only does it helps you make your food taste better, you know, it's going to help you feel a lot safer when you serve your kid a burger or your elderly grandparents or, you know, anybody.
And that's the thing is it's just another tool. I mean,
it is.
An electrician doesn't go in and work on an outlet without his voltmeter to make sure that there's no power going to that.
That's right.
It's just it's just a tool of a cook. And here's, like I said, we're grabbing one of the manual ones right here. This is,
and there's all kinds.
And you can get I have a nice digital.
I like a digital one
that
too.
I got here. That I say chicken. It tells me automatically what temperature. It's all programmed in.
Yep.
But you can go on the internet, Google what temperature do I need it, and throw that in there. And that thing is $2.50.
And actually, a lot of the packaged meat that already comes packaged will give you the right amount where it needs to be, like with a tray pack ground beef patties, or a roast or a steak or a chicken, you know, to get it to that certain temperature. So that is handy. I mean, all the info is right there in front of you. So
let me ask you this: if I wanted to buy a whole chicken here, I didn't want to break it down myself. If I bought a whole chicken, could I bring it to you guys? You guys will break it down for me?
Yeah, we'll split it in half for you. I did have a guy he came in the other day, he wanted me to he was doing like a brick chicken, which I've heard about it. Basically, you split a chicken in half and you just kind of put this brick on top of it. I mean, I've cooked with a brick before like that, and it just kind of smashed it down. But he wanted me to take the whole thing and debone it, which we kind of really didn't. Sure. I was like, he threw me a curveball. I really didn't know how to do that. And I just told him, I said, here's the deal. I can split it in half and we'll butterfly it, and you just lay it like that. You don't need to debone it.
Right.
And he said he was going to get back with me. I interviewed.
Well, I think the thing is, too, that's where just having and I have a set of kitchen shears in my kitchen.
Kitchen shears are handy.
Because I just cut out that backbone of that chicken, and then you just lays right out.
But yeah, if somebody wanted something, like, we do have a lot of people that actually will come in and they want like a chicken, and they'll want us to cut it up and break it down into pieces and take the skin off for it. And yeah, you bet. I mean, we'll pretty much do, if we can do it, we'll do it for you.
Yeah, that's a great thing to do. It's a big time saver, and also it's just, chicken's better if you have the bone in it. But if you can kind of break it all down, so that's always good. So. And that's, don't be afraid. What I'm trying to say is I taught myself how to cook and how to grill, and a lot of my knowledge came from talking to guys like you and at your meat counter, being like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to try it. And you steered me in the right direction.
Well, you know, I think a lot of people, it's, you know, with all the cooking shows and everything that's going on, it's become a hobby for a lot of people. I mean, I know I really like to cook. I mean, it is my business, and I need to know all that. But I mean, I watch a lot of cooking shows. So, and try to keep up with the trends of what's hot and what people are talking about, just so when people do come in and they have a question, you know, kind of stay on top of that. But yeah, it is a really, really popular thing that people like to do in their spare time. And plus, you come up to the counter, you buy your own stuff. I mean, it's a heck of a lot cheaper. And I don't know about you, but I feel that I can cook a meal at home. And don't get me wrong, I like to go out to eat. I really, really do, and I'm not bashing any restaurants at all. But you know, I can make a pretty awesome meal at home for like half the price of what you do to go out to eat. And you know, we do offer that. So, man, you know, I just like to stay knowledgeable about it for helping people out on that end.
I just think it's a great opportunity for people to create.
Well, it's create, but it's also, you know, gosh, it's, you know, everybody is so stinking busy.
Yeah.
It's nice to have one, if you have everybody at home together, whether it be you have your family over, your kids or your parents or your friends, it's just a great way for people to hang out together, and I just think it's a great thing for people to do.
One of the things that I know that they have in the store that your department's very involved with is Becky Daner's Simple Fix program.
Yes, that is a big deal.
Which my wife is an avid participant in the Simple Fix program, and we have one kid playing baseball. I have a daughter who's in dance, and we have another child who gets to go to everything too. And that's having kids who are involved in things. Sometimes that weeknight meal is a challenge.
It is.
And the simplicity of things that you can get at the Hy-Vee meat counter, and we take advantage of the Simple Fix program.
Yep.
That's a great way to feed your family healthily with good food, and be doing it in a short period of time.
It is, and the Simple Fix, it seems like every week, and she adds a new group, which is great. I've got 2 kids at home, and we're into baseball full swing right now. So it's like a lot of times, like last night we got done with practice at 7. We're making dinner at 7:30,
right.
And it is nice to, have that. To sit down and maybe have that, you already know that meal's going to be there for you, or have it planned. It is a great thing we got going on here.
Take advantage of that inexpensive hamburger that's on sale right now in this week's ad. Brown it up all at one weekend, and that way you can separate it out and you have things.
Yeah, and know what? There's already some friends of mine that they talk about. They come in and they shop like once a week on Sunday, and they kind of prep a lot of their meals. They'll go grill a lot of stuff for their kids to take in their school lunches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to have something different, for lunch. I know my son, he takes his lunch to school. We still kind of do the traditional lunch meat sandwich, but
sure.
Peanut butter and jelly. But there are folks out there that really. But if you think about it, you come in here and you buy a couple bratwursts for $1 a piece. Throw them in a bun, throw them in your warmer, and there's lunch for the kid.
And what we do is we bought thermoses.
Yes.
And so we heat the thermos up in the morning with boiling water, heat the brat up in the microwave, put that in there, put the bun in the lunchbox.
Yeah.
And my son makes his own
a lot
right
of that
there.
stuff, like a brat burger or a brat or a muskie chop, really, folks, that really, when your grill's good and hot, that only takes like 5 minutes. You could prep a lot of that stuff and cook it all up and have it ready in Ziploc bags and ready to roll, and kind of for your kid for the week or for meals at home. Or during the week at night. So
yeah, and this is why. Don't view the meat counter as just a place where you just go and get stuff that you already thought about. Ask them questions. Use them for the side dishes. Stuffed mushrooms, stuffed peppers, the baked potatoes. You can grill those. Throw those on the hot dog rack and roast them off there in the grill. There's lots of opportunities to do a complete meal all in one section, really, of the store.
It is really, we have a lot more to offer than just fresh meat. I know my produce guy, he gets mad at me, but we do sell a lot of asparagus and mushrooms and what else? Seasoned grilling vegetables and stuff like that. But
I'm telling you, if you want to show off this weekend, go get some skirt steak or flank steak at the meat counter. Walk over to our friends in the produce department. Get a bushel of cilantro for like 88 cents or 99 cents, whatever it is. Go grab an inexpensive bottle of red wine vinegar.
Chimichurri?
And you just make a quick chimichurri sauce. Throw that in the blender with some garlic, salt, and pepper, and you're good to go.
Chimichurri is pretty hot right now, I think.
Well, and it's such an easy thing to make,
yeah.
And it's so flavorful. There's so much. It's green.
I've never tried it. I'll have to try it.
It's awesome.
Cool.
It's a tremendous quick sauce that you can make, and you can put it on anything. You can put it on chicken, you can put it on vegetables. If you're a vegetarian, it's a complete vegan way to do it, and it's an awesome thing. I had it on my honeymoon for the first time. That was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
But then Chef Tess encouraged me on how easy it was to make, and so that's how I made it at home.
Yeah, there's not very many ingredients in it.
Yeah, it's really. Do you have a blender? That's all you need is a blender, and you make it up pretty quick.
That.
So nice and easy. Olive oil, red wine vinegar, and cilantro. Does mostly pantry ingredients. So
nice.
Well, Mike, you and I could probably have our own hour-long show.
I think we probably could
and talk about this. And but we've got lots of opportunities to go and make your Memorial Day pretty memorable. I have a friend who we were talking about the meat thermometer. I asked him once, I was like, "How long does it take you to grill something?" And he said, it takes me the same length to cook anything, and that's 3 beers. Yeah. And so everything he makes on the grill is 3 beers.
Well, that's not a bad thing to do.
So if it's a burger, maybe he drinks those 3 beers faster.
Or maybe he just cooks it slow. Maybe he puts it on the top rack.
Right.
So,
we will have, speaking of beer, we will have 7G Distributing on the show tomorrow to talk about some of their new summer
I'm off
offerings.
tomorrow. Are they going to have any samples?
I don't know.
I'll
have to check it out.
All right.
We'll have this. So, Mike, again, thanks so much for
Joel.
coming in. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you filling in for Tony.
No problem.
Big shoes to fill, but
literally,
you did a
I
great
think
job.
he's size 14.
Yeah.
He's got skis.
Thanks, guys.
You know too much about your former coworkers, I guess. But so, Mike, thanks for stopping in. We've got the meat department here at Muscatine, Hy-Vee, and so much others. You can check out the ad in this week's newspaper, as well as if you just want it, you can go online to Hy-Vee.com and Hy-Vee aisles online, and you can shop by the ad. That's what my wife and I do. We go on every weekend and we just go through. We know what we need to get, and then we sometimes need to get to that $100 mark to get the free delivery, and then we just look at the ad. Okay, what's there? What's fuel saver? What is the opportunity to push us over that threshold? Or if we're not sure what we're going to have for supper this week, we'll look at the ad and we'll have that kind of guide us in the direction so we can save money as fast as we can. Family of 5, that grocery bill can rack up pretty quickly, and it comes right to our house on a Sunday morning or Saturday morning, and we can just put it right away. So that is a convenience that is available here at your local Hy-Vee. Tomorrow, our guests will be, again, Brooke Wagler from Affordable Metal Manufacturing, and then our 7G distributor. That was a late edition this morning. I didn't have the name written down, so I will get that to you guys tomorrow when we talk to the folks from 7G. And then Captain John from the seafood department will be in to talk about all the great things that are going on with the seafood counter here at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. And like I said at the top of the show, everything's good with Tony, so he'll be back next week. So you're stuck with me for the rest of the week, which is going to be fun. Friday, we might have some guests from our high school. We're hoping to get some of the student athletes who just participated in the Iowa State track meet. I'll hopefully get that locked down here this afternoon. Muscatine had a great showing at the Iowa State track meet, and baseball and softball kicked off their season last night. So that's an exciting thing going on in the area with Eliza, Muscatine, Wilton, all of the area schools getting the summer sports underway, which is an exciting time. We'll have Muscatine Park and Rec on Friday as well. As we'll also have, Park and Rec will be here on Thursday. Chef Tess is back tomorrow. Chef Tess will have her special for Thursday that she's cooking. And then also on Friday, Jake with the bakery, or someone from the bakery, will be here to talk about graduation cakes. It's already graduation season, which is hard to believe. Wilton had theirs on Sunday, and Muscatine's is this upcoming weekend. Don't forget, you can rewatch anything today. Big thank you to Jessica Meyer from Good Makers Market. Check them out this weekend at the Cedar County Fairgrounds in Tipton, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Friday, May 25th, and then on Saturday, May 26th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Great live local music all weekend long at the Cedar County Fairgrounds for the Good Makers Market, and wonderful handcrafted items. Great opportunities for you to fill out that decor, maybe try some food trucks that you haven't experienced. Just a good family event with Good Makers Market. And Alicia Bull, a big thank you from the GMCCI, Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for coming in today to talk about fireworks 4th of July celebration. And we'll talk more about 4th of July tomorrow with Kelsey Brackett, who will be in here to talk about the Soapbox Derby. Thanks so much for watching today. You can catch the review of today's episode on Muscatine Power and Water Digital Cable on the REMAX channel, Channel 5 and 705, re-airing at 8:30 and 10:30. Great opportunity to catch what you missed. And you can always go back to our Facebook page at Hy-Vee Today, as well as our YouTube channel, Hy-Vee Today, and rewatch today's episode, and always be looking for that 90-second-ish recap that we do every single day here. Thanks again, Joel Krausar from Affordable Metal Manufacturing, sitting in for Tony Tone today, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony. Thanks, everyone. We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community. Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.